So I have these signs, these post-it notes on my computer that say, only fun from now on.
Well, first of all, nobody even knows if God is a he or a she anyway. I mean, nobody's ever seen his penis.
No more like serious stuff. And the reason I did that is because, well, it can be depressing talking about the serious stuff all the time.
You know, it must be huge, I guess. And then again, it's everywhere, which means right now it must be even in my ear. Like, ooh.
But you know, I'm lying here after doing a live stream and thinking about some things I saw on Instagram, and I don't think it's the right approach.
Do you want a kiss? You do? Okay.
Shouldn't be drinking cow's milk or stealing from them, and how veganism is essentially that, about not stealing. I've told you all of that, and it gets tiring to repeat myself, so sometimes I say, oh, maybe I should just do funny things.
You think I'm doing this for attention? How did you get to be so smart? You're absolutely right. YouTube, please ban her. I know.
Well, guys, Miss Katie getting tired. She's getting old. She's already old. I mean, she looks like she's approaching 200 any day now. But seriously, she has been talking lately about how she's kind of getting sick of what she's doing a little bit, you know, talking about animal slaughter and torture and murder, you know, all the buzzwords that the vegans like to throw out, you know, it's taking a toll on her, and it's getting difficult to keep it up. She has contemplated multiple times stopping that content. And the truth is, you guys have noticed on this channel, I haven't really talked about really anything new that Miss Katie has gone crazy about. I've mentioned some things that happened, you know, a few months ago that we've talked about, but none of these things as of late have been like brand new topics. And that's because she's seriously slowed down on this. Now, she still makes songs and stuff, what she calls her fun content, which you'll hear her say that, you know, she's kind of dropping the serious stuff for the fun stuff, or at least she's trying to, but you know, she still makes the serious stuff. I mean, I'm assuming, you know, it only takes so many animal snuff videos for you to eventually get tired of it, right? You know, I mean, if you're an ethical person, you just care so much about animals. I mean, I'm sure it must really get to you in the core of your being when you keep watching videos of them being slaughtered, you know? I mean, it's got to get to you, right? It's got to take effect on your mental some way, somehow. So I'm not surprised that she's coming to this exhaustion. And, you know, it's about time. She's had a long run of being that controversial vegan nutcase. I mean, she even said months ago now that she was tired of being that vegan teacher, you know? She just wants to be a normal person in her neighborhood.
I looked over and there was a gang of teenage girls who looked at me and they all went, oh my God, it's that vegan teacher. And so I quickly got back on my bike, I just waved to them and I just left. I left because I don't want to always be that vegan teacher. Sometimes I just want to be a normal person in my neighborhood. I just want to hang out with the animals. They don't know who I am.
Well, the truth is, even after she made that, she just went more batshit, more off the rails and crazier. But I think it's because she has to. And what I mean by that is, you might have seen this video already, but I talked about how she was saying that she barely could afford food, you know, she doesn't really have that much money right now.
Game that's not violent, and maybe I can learn how to play that game and make some money too. He's making a lot of money. Now I'm having trouble affording even food because I make so little.
And I don't know how much of that I believe, but you know, if that is the case, then she's got to keep making content. This is a dead end for her. You know, where is she going to go from here? It's not like she's going to go get a job at 208 years old. Like, it's just not happening. So naturally, she's going to continue making content, but she wants to try going in a different direction, perhaps. Miss Katie, I know you're probably watching this video, and I will give you a tiny bit of advice. Don't mute me. I think going in a different direction could be a good idea for you. Could be a good idea for your mental. Could it be a good idea for your health? Maybe, I know this is gonna sound crazy, but have you considered maybe not being vegan? Perhaps doing I know, hear me out, listen, okay? I know, you're about to lose your mind. Listen, okay? The vegan thing's not working for you. It's not doing good for your health, your mental health, your physical health, none of that. And it's not doing that great for your channel either. Maybe if you did some sort of transformation and decided, you know what, I'm done with the vegan shit, I'm gonna start eating meat again, and you rebrand yourself as born again omnivore, an ex-vegan born again omnivore. Hear me out, Miss Katie. Listen, okay? I'm in your corner right now. I've got your best interest at heart. Trust me. I guarantee you, you're probably gonna fix your viewership, you're gonna fix your health, and you're gonna feel better as a person overall. Trust me, you know what you're doing is futile, and that's why you're getting tired of it. You know that this vegan lifestyle that you've chosen, this advocate for the animals, is doing nothing but harm to you, and it has destroyed your reputation, destroyed your relationships, and destroyed your life. So you have this chance at redemption. Will you take it? Will you take it before it's too late? Okay, that is the Omni King. No, that's not even the Omni King. That is Kalen Eichner. You like to call me Kalen Eichner by my real name. That is Kalen Eichner doing a heart-to-heart, saying, hey, do something and change your life and turn it around and be better. That is my advice to you. But anyway, let's get into our video. We have a bunch of different little things to talk about. It's gonna be an interesting update. Make sure you're strapped in. You got some, you know, your favorite snacks to eat, like some turkey and cheese stick or something like that.
So I have these signs, these post-it notes on my computer that say, only fun from now on. Songs and no more like serious stuff. And the reason I did that is because, well, it can be depressing talking about the serious stuff all the time.
If you guys didn't quite catch exactly what she was saying, I'll clarify real quick. She's saying she has post-it notes like on her computer that say only fun stuff from now on, to remind herself to stop making videos about, you know, slaughter and murder, you know, the heavy stuff that she does, you know, maybe stop looking at, you know, cow snuff films all day. You know, she literally, it seems like this is obviously something that she's been battling with nonstop, clearly, and she's trying to make that change, but hasn't done it yet because she's so sucked into what she does, and it's an obligation. It's a financial obligation. The truth is, nobody listens to her songs. Like, I'm sorry, Miss Katie, but nobody listens to your songs and her fun stuff. Like, people just don't care about it as much. When people get their eyes on Miss Katie, it's because she went out and said or did something absolutely insane, and she knows that. But doing that has obviously taken a serious toll on her. This is like the first time we're really seeing the cracks and the light kind of come through. And the truth is, there ain't much light. It's pretty much just darkness, but these are the cracks. And she's finally like self-aware enough to realize that what she's doing is hurting herself more than anything else. That doesn't mean she's going to stop. It just means that she's seeing the problem and she's at a crossroads, and she can either choose to go in a different direction entirely or just keep going the same way she's been this whole time. But we'll see how this develops.
But you know, I'm lying here after doing a live stream and thinking about some things I saw on Instagram, and I don't think it's the right approach to simply say just fun and ukulele songs all the time, because there is so much violence that goes on, and although it is hard to tell you about it, it's so frustrating because you can't see it. I can't show you the videos here. I shouldn't try to gloss it over or leave it up to other activists. I shouldn't say, well, I've told them enough times that they should watch the documentary called Dominion, and I've told you guys to watch Earthlings, and I've told you guys about how the baby cows are kidnapped from their moms in the dairy industry after the moms have been raped, and how you're not baby cows and you shouldn't be drinking cow's milk or stealing from them, and how veganism is essentially that, about not stealing. I've told you all of that, and it gets tiring to repeat myself. So sometimes I say, oh, maybe I should just do funny things. But
Katie, let me tell you something. Nothing that you and your fellow dickhead activists like Tosh Peterson, Vegan Gains, Earthling Asshole, Unnatural Vegan, Joey Brinstrong, any of these assholes, none of them really accomplishing anything. And you all have different methods. Every single one of you has a different approach. And yeah, you're getting small amounts of nutrient deficient people to follow you. Very, very, very small amounts. But the truth is, besides maybe Earthling Ed and Unnatural Vegan, the rest of you, this is the truth for you. And I'll explain what I mean with disregarding the other two for a second. But anyway, what y'all are doing, you're turning more people off of veganism than you're converting, and it's not even close. Not even close. You, Miss Katie, are not helping. You are making things worse. You've done irreparable damage to the vegan movement. Tosh has done irreparable damage. Vegan Gains, same thing. Joey Carmstrong, same thing. I know you guys like to convince yourselves. You lay at night and you lay in your bed after a hard day of being an asshole and you convince yourself that you did something good for the world, that you helped animals. You didn't. There are way more non-vegans, infinitely more non-vegans that help animals significantly more than you ever will with this type of shit that you do. So while you're sitting here contemplating whether or not you should continue doing it or if you should give it up, you need to think about that. You need to think about that long and hard, for real. Whether your own health, mental health, well-being, and all of that is worth a futile cause that is actually a detriment more than anything because of your involvement with it. I know there's people in my audience that probably like to believe that I hate vegans like her, that I hate people like her. I don't hate anyone really, not even Miss Katie. If she decided, you know what, I'm gonna drop veganism, I'm gonna stop being this belligerent asshole, I'm gonna work on myself and I'm gonna do better for myself and I'm gonna take care of myself and I'm gonna change who I am on the internet, I would be in her corner. I wouldn't be preying on some kind of downfall. I would be hoping that she would be successful in her change. And I know she treats me like shit. She makes me look terrible in thumbnails. She's racist as fuck towards me. She's a mean witch to me. I know that. But at the end of the day, she's still human. She's somebody with some serious flaws, but she's not a murderer. She's not a rapist. She's not Adolf Hitler himself. He's somebody who's severely lacking some nutrients and is going through a mental health crisis, who absolutely should get some help and should get better. And ultimately, that's what I want for this person. That would be cool. That would be a good thing. Now, what I was saying with like Vegan Gains and like Unnatural Vegan, because their approach to things is much kinder and, you know, they're less insulting and they speak a bit more factual. Of course, they, you know, they're vegan facts, which is mostly bullshit. People are more susceptible to hearing what they have to say and not being put off of veganism because of it. Now, not everybody that watches their content is going to convert, but a lot of people that are on the fence, they hear these things, they get these health facts and all this stuff. It's all bullshit, of course, but they don't know that, but they get these health facts and all these ethical facts and all that, and they are more likely to convert because of that. That's why Earthling Ed's following is almost completely positive. That's why Unnatural Vegan's following is almost completely positive versus these other people. It's not the same deal. But anyway, back to the video.
Absolutely devastating and horrifying how he treats the animals. And I need to remind you guys of that sometimes. In between all of the silly stuff and the songs, let's not forget why we're here. Please go and follow me on Instagram, That Vegan Teacher Miss Katie, to see what happens. I post videos there. I share it on my stories. So go to my stories on That Vegan Teacher Miss Katie, spelled Kadie. That Vegan Teacher Miss Katie on Instagram. Please go. You need to know.
So yeah, ultimately, I think it's all about surviving for Miss Katie. I think they lived off of their, you know, social media income for a very long time. I mean, I wouldn't be surprised. I mean, she used to get sometimes millions of views of video. I mean, hundreds of thousands easily all the time. And so they've built their life around her social media presence. And, you know, after her downfall, which if you have not seen my downfall vegan teacher video, please go watch that. You'll know everything you need to know. Since her downfall, she's been making a fraction of what she did in the past. And she already said she's struggling to have enough money for food. So it's all about money. But I'm telling you, if you do that crazy switch, the money will come. I guarantee you that. People would be very interested in seeing you actually make a transformation from vegan to a healthy omnivore. And also, since I just dropped the self-promotion for the video, guys, I also have a stories channel, Curlington Stories, where I tell some very, very interesting stories and encourage everybody to share their opinions on them while I share mine. They're real stories, of course, you know, real life things that happen, mostly around like, am I the asshole type Reddit stories, but it's really interesting stuff. And a lot of them are also vegan stories because a lot of the people that are in that audience right now are interested in vegan content. I'm almost at 1,000 subscribers, my first 1,000 subscribers on that channel, and it'd be really great if we could get there sometime this weekend. So if you guys want to help your boy out, please make sure you're subscribed to Curlington Stories. Thanks in advance. Now, we're gonna just cover a couple random topics that she sprinkled in. One of them's kind of like her last like very belligerent vegan video that I've seen from her, and that was like a week ago now, but we'll cover that and then wrap this whole thing up.
Okay, so you say you're never going to forget that I think I'm higher than God. Well, thank you so much for listening to me. It's great. You got a couple of details wrong. Never said I was higher than God. Apparently God's way up there. Yeah, I'm way down here. So there's that, you know. Then again, apparently he's everywhere. So, you know, I'm not really sure what to think about that. I mean, if he's everywhere, it means he's like in your mouth right now. He's in my eyeball. You know, he's in the camera, everywhere. The thing is, though, we don't really even know if he exists, right? But let's just say he does. Do you actually think he's a nice guy? Well, first of all, nobody even knows if God is a he or a she anyway. I mean, nobody's ever seen his penis. You know, it must be huge, I guess. And then again, it's everywhere, which means right now it must be even in my ear. Like, ooh, you know, it's just weird. The whole God thing is really weird.
No, what's weird is you talking very casually about getting a wet willy, and not somebody's finger, you know, not somebody's finger either, a different type of wet willy. What the fuck? That was weird. That was out of left field, but you know what? I gotta stop being surprised. I gotta stop. I was genuinely surprised when I heard that. What the hell is wrong with me? I gotta stop. I've seen so many of her videos. Nothing should shock me anymore, but somehow this did. It's got me stuttering. I don't usually stutter unless I'm very like flustered or perplexed by something, which is precisely what has happened here. Very odd. And you know, if that didn't make you puke, this is your opportunity to get a bucket, because if that didn't, something else that's coming up will. You've been warned.
I'm not too fond of the guy, honestly. I mean, if he's really so good, so all-powerful and all-loving, why would he create lions who devour baby zebras in front of their moms? Like, that's pretty gross. Like, honestly, if he does exist and his penis is in my ear and he's like a massive psychopath, yeah, I kind of am above him. Like to step on him, actually.
Lady, where hath thou's marbles gone? Where hath thine marbles gone? They are a-missing. What has happened here? You know what? I can answer that. It's that B12 deficiency. I'm telling you, the B12, it's gotten her. She doesn't know it, but it's gotten her, okay? It's that the B12 deficiency has a stranglehold on this woman's brain, okay? It is not functioning at even half capacity at this point. It is tragic watching this, not gonna lie to you. I don't know what her fixation is on God's willy, but you know what? You do you, okay? I'm not a particularly religious individual. I cannot speak on the godly ethics of carnivore animals, but I do know they do serve a purpose when we talk about just the environment as a whole. It's quite simple. Herbivores like to eat plants, and plants also need to be able to survive so that they can reproduce themselves. But if you have too many herbivores eating all the plants and the plants aren't around and the herbivores are starving, then everybody's screwed, you know? But thanks to the carnivores and the omnivores, but the carnivores, they come and they're like, they chomp on the herbivores, they keep their populations down. Now the plants are a little bit happier because, you know, they aren't eradicated to extinction. And even the herbivores, you know, despite having to watch some of their homies die, you know, which is a sad thing, they're a bit happier too because they don't have to starve to death and go extinct. That is a net positive. Unfortunately, you gotta take the good with the bad. That's how this world goes, all right? That's how the cookie crumbles.
You think I'm doing this for attention? How did you get to be so smart? You're absolutely right. And now that I have your attention, let me remind you that in your intestines right now are innocent animals who never wanted to die. Yeah, you are paying for the rape, torture, confinement, kidnapping, enslavement, and murder of innocent animals. That's what I'm reminding you of. Does that bother you? It's hard to hear the truth, isn't it? But you know what? You can change. You can be vegan from now on. Okay? Okay. I want you to get yourself one of these necklaces, okay? You can make them by yourself at home, right? I want you to take it, a little paper, and like, you know, write something on it like this, like vegan because I give a shit, or write down, you know, I'm no longer eating meat or something like that, okay? And take a picture of yourself and send it to me, or a nice little video, okay? Yeah, you can do it for attention. It's okay. Because it's for the right kind of attention. Do you want a kiss? You do? Okay.
back, you she-demon. You don't get those crusty 2,000-year-old lips away from my fucking screen, you nasty motherfucker. I just damn near puke those animals out of my intestines. Maybe you would have actually liked that. Perhaps that was your goal with what you just did, to make everybody puke up the animals they just ate. Wow, that is a disgusting thing for me to say. I apologize. But Jesus, that was disgusting. I feel violated right now. Like, I feel nasty. Like, I feel itchy and just like gross all over. But yeah, I did warn you guys. I didn't say what was coming. I didn't say when there was. And sucks to suck. I will talk, briefly about what she's saying here. Any attention's good attention. That's how she feels. Because I mean, well, if you are in activism, one of your main goals is to drive attention to your cause, but you also want positive attention to your cause. And just think of it like this. Just use an example. If you're trying to sell shoes, right? You're like, I have the best shoes on the market. You want to sell your shoes, but all the attention you get is negative attention, talking about how shitty your shoes are. Well, you're not going to sell shoes. You're not getting what you want. Yeah, you're getting attention. You're going viral, going all over the place, but everybody's talking about how bad your shoes are. They're not going to want to help you, and your goal is to ultimately get more shoes sold. You're doing the exact opposite, making it so that doesn't happen. So no, what you're doing does not work. It sucks. All right, we have one last little clip to watch, and let's wrap this bad boy up.
Oh, YouTube, please ban her. I know we have to ban the people that hurt the animals. Kallmekris, Sniper Wolf, Rally Link 14, all of them. Yes. Vegan cookie?